everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Walk. My name's Gareth, and today I'm back at the site of Roche Abbey in South Yorkshire. Now, I did a video here previously where I looked at the abbey itself. It was built in 1147, and like many other abbeys and priories, it fell to the hands of Henry VIII in 1538. But when I was editing that video, I was looking at old maps, as you do, and I found loads of remains of old quarries and old lime kilns. Now, they date back to the 14th century, so it could be a wild goose chase, but I'm gonna go hunting. So here's the abbey itself. Absolutely beautiful. Even in its destroyed state, it's still incredible. Now, as you can see from the drone footage, it's an enormous site. I apologise if I'm blinding you with the sun a bit today, although it is quite majestic with the sunlight on this building. I don't know why, maybe because it's a religious building, it sort of seems more epic. But if you just look at this map, now this map is from the 1830s, so it's old. And even in the 1830s, it shows the mill, which is next to the abbey, is being disused, of course. Bear in mind, this went in 1538. And it shows the quarries and the lime kilns as being disused as well. So a sensible man would have come here probably yesterday and reccied it and had a look if there's any remains. I'm not a sensible man. So I'm going to take you on a journey with me, hopefully of discovery and not disappointment. Now, here we go. I won't go over this too much. I'll put a link to the original video of Roche Abbey, look at it, incredible, in the description, because that's not really what I'm focusing on. Although, if you see, there's a water source there. This is all coming down. It was built across two sides of the river. There's a story and a reason behind that between two guys that own the land, but like I say, I won't go over old stuff, because I don't want to bore you. But that sound of water is incredible. Now, if I come down here, there should be, hopefully, maybe some remains of a mill down here. So let me have a look. See, I'm hoping that I'm not going to fall in the river because it's freezing. So that would be real bad news. But look, wonder if that was for like a sluice gate, maybe something slid down there, because that's cut stone, you can see. Now, of course, there would be a reason for having a mill here in terms of preparing food and whatever. And you know, grain and, oh mate, look at that. I didn't climb down here last time, I should have done, because this was the site of the mill, all here. And I think maybe, oh, nearly went then, up here as well. So let me come up. Now, hopefully, there's maybe some stone remains here, maybe not. No, it's not looking like it, is it? But that was cool down there anyway. So, if you look at this map again, I cut myself off, didn't I? I got excited about a mill that wasn't there. If you look at this map again, from the 1830s, I'll just put a circle there, round those areas. Now, those particular areas are the areas of quarrying and these lime kilns. So, as I say, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to find them, but I'm going to do my best. There might be a bit of clambering and whatever. But the reason they're so relevant, and I was so excited about doing them, is not just the fact that they date back from the 14th century. That in itself is amazing. But as soon as I saw them, I went searching, as you do. Like, you know, what's the relevance of all these quarries and lime kilns? And are they related to Roche Abbey? Well, yes, they are. So it transpires that not only were these quarries used to build the abbey, which I obviously spoke about before in the last video, because you can see from the outcrops of rock that it's the same colour as the stone, so it's clearly where it came from. But also these quarries and kilns were used to provide the stone and the mortar for Sheffield Castle, which is massively significant in terms of Mary Queen of Scots. She was held there before her demise, but also WINDSOR Castle. And it got me thinking, I'm in South Yorkshire and they're taking this stone and this mortar that they're bringing out from the lime kilns all the way down to Windsor. So it must be significant. Now, I can't come back here and not look at this again. Wow. It's epic, isn't it? Absolutely amazing. So I'm going to walk up now beside the lake. So if you look at that drone footage, I smacked myself in the face with a branch. If you look at that drone footage, you can see that lake there. I'm going to come around the outside of that, and then when I get to the end of it, I'm going to go right across a field, and that'll be my first quarry and lime kiln. Now that one doesn't actually have a name that I could find on a map. A couple of the others have names. So I'll try and find that one, and then I'll come back over, try and find another, and then I have to go through something called Kingswood. Now when I go through Kingswood, there's Kingswood Quarry and Kingswood Lime Kilns. I'm saying that as if they're there. I don't know. I found no evidence online whatsoever other than a picture, like I say, from the 1830s on a map where it's saying it's disused. So my wife thinks I'm mad, but I was saying to her, for me, like if I find one of them, even if I just find one of them, they're so old, you know, 14th century, and significant in the sense that they were used to build, you know, the medieval extensions of Windsor Castle. Because of course Windsor Castle was built by William the Conqueror, so we're going way back into the late 1000s for that. But the medieval extensions were built with stone from here. How are you getting that stone all the way down to Windsor? I mean, look at this. Like, let's go with Google Maps then. So this is where we are in terms of those kilns and quarries. That's how far they're moving the stone all the way down to Windsor Castle. That's mad. But oh mate, if I can find them, I'll be so happy. Right, we've reached a fork in the road. So that one goes up to a series of kilns that are up over the other side. This is the one I'm going to follow first. So I'm going to go down and I'm going to go across the field that's just on the other side of those trees. Oh mate, fingers crossed. Oh mate, it's mega boggy. Do you know what? It's freezing. And I was hoping, because it was so cold, that it would freeze all the mud. Do you know what I mean? And it has, to be fair, a fair chunk of it, although some of it is still really boggy. Now I'm not far now. So if you just look at this drone footage, you see that field, and you can see that sort of outcrop of wood. Well, that's where it's meant to be. Right, now I've come across the field, and it appears, I'm out of breath now, that we're basically in the quarry. Bear in mind, these are ancient quarries. So just up there you can see some stonework. So I'm going to come up and see. Sorry if I'm blinding you. If I can't find some clue of one of these ancient lime kilns. Again, look, there's lots of stonework here. So that's interesting. I feel like I'm getting close. Now, of course, I'm relying, in terms of location, on the accuracy of maps from the 1830s. Having said that, you know, when you go back in time, they did things properly, didn't they? Which makes me sort of trust them more. Now, I found another quarry. Mate, that's the kiln. That's the kiln. And it's in the exact location that it said it would be on the map. That's just going to be the top of it, isn't it? Well, that's just the arch of it, sorry. And the, oh mate, that's 14th century, if not earlier. I'm not going to cry. I tell you what though, that map was absolutely perfect in its accuracy. This is it. So there's your quarry face, and this is the top. So here you go, look. That is the circular kiln, and that is just the archway. And that's where obviously they're dragging the stuff out and off. Oh mate, I'm gonna climb inside it. I'm buzzing. Right, now, from this map, there's only one kiln here, and we've located it, and I'm getting inside it, and I am buzzing, folks. Please don't judge me. Oh well, you can if you want. But here we go. This is the inside of the kiln. Sorry for the sunlight. There you go, look. It would have been pretty big then. It would have gone all the way back there. That's the back wall of it, look. And round. And that's the archway. Someone's dumped some old Lucasade. That's nice. That's respect for for ancient remains, isn't it? Oh, mate. Right, what a start. Hopefully I've not peaked too soon, but one kiln down, ladies and gentlemen. One kiln down. Goodness knows how many to go. Hopefully many. Okay, we're back at the fork in the road. That's where we've just been. This time, I'm going to take the upper route to find, fingers crossed, kiln number 2. Now this particular one is called Slade's Hill Quarry and Plantation. That's what it shows up on old maps. And I'll be honest with you, this is the one that I've been the most worried about, because its location seems like it's more difficult to pin down. That one we just looked at, where it was in that tiny sort of sliver of woodland, I backed myself and I liked my chances. Whereas this one is, it shows up, but it's on a path, just off a path, sorry, in an enormous area of woods. So I'm going to back myself anyway. No one else will. It's a beautiful day, folks. It really is. I mean, it's cold. Well, I say cold, I'm not anymore. I'm sweating out because I've got a big coat on. Now, I'm going to jump down here because it's a bit of a drop. So I'm guessing the quarry, the Slade Hills quarry, is in here. But this is sort of ish the location of where the kiln is meant to be. So I'm going to have a hunt for it. Now, there's a big pile of rubble there. I mean, that doesn't look particularly old, does it? So I'm not sure it's that, but I'm going to keep following it along anyway. Now, whoa, I nearly fell over. Saved myself. Obviously, I was talking about Windsor Castle in the medieval period. Now, that's so far away, it's crazy, but this quarry, or these quarries, were used to build Sheffield Castle as well, and that was built in 1270, so we're going really old. But that makes more sense, because Sheffield's not that far from here. I mean, I'm in Yorkshire. Whereas Windsor still kind of blows my mind. Right, what's going on here? We're in the quarry then. So we've located the quarry. Let me come round. So what's going on? Stonework. That's not a kiln, is it? No. That's not a kiln, is it? Is that it? It could be. It could well be. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping it's more clear than that. But let's have a look here then. Is that... Would they use it like that? I'm not sure they would they? Ow, just sting myself. That's obviously... Well, these have just collapsed, haven't they? So I'm not going to go underneath that, because that would be crazy. So that there... I mean, it could be... I'm going to go around the other side and try not to fall over at the same time. So I was reading, when they built Roche Abbey in 1147, the Cistercian monks obviously were using the local rock from these quarries to build it, and then they realised that they had an enormous amount, far more than they needed to build that incredible structure. And so they basically started providing stonework and mortar and stuff for other places and selling it and using it as another source of income. Why not? Now, if you can just see, you look through, there's a bit of field and there's a row of trees. There's another bit of field and another row of trees. That, at the end there, is where that first kiln was. Now, as I understand it, from the maps, from looking from memory, it could be here. Because it's not quite in line, but as I remember from the map, it wasn't quite in line. It was, I mean, it's starting to look a little bit encouraging where it opens up, because you can see this is, oh, nearly fell over again. How many times is that today? This is a big old, whoa, pheasant. See you later, mate. This is a big old quarrying area where it kind of opens up. So I'm going to come up. If it isn't this, it will have been the one that we looked at there previously, because again, that's sort of in line, but not quite. See, this is a quarrying area, isn't it? So what we need is a kiln, and that is it. Oh, mate, that's it. Okay, does it? Whoa. Sorry, buddy, I don't mean to freaking you out. Now, does this one? I don't think it has. Oh, it doesn't have the arch. I do love the arch. Ow. However, that is the kiln. Here we go. So we can get inside it again. Here's the, there's the kiln. And you can see there's the stonework where it's cut stone, you see. That was the arch there. Ah, mate, it's probably your fault, tree. Grown up and got rid of it. But here we go. So there's the quarry, look. And here's the kiln. You can see the wall of it. Oh, mate. We're 2 for 2. I mean, no arch. That would have been great if there was an arch there. Not to be. But still, I can put a little tick, look, next to those two on the map. Now, I'm going to go across to something called King's Wood, where there's a series of them. And there's one particular little wooded area that if I just put a drone footage up, you just see that little wooded area there. From the maps, there's a series of lime kilns in there. So that's where my absolute hope is. Okay, folks, so ignore this row of trees here. That's King's Wood. The row of trees beyond it, I've just walked from there. So that's where I've just been. Looking at that kiln, you know, the one without the arch. Now this is quite a big drop actually, and it's a sheer drop. This is Club Field Quarry. And if you look at this picture here, this map, this is from the 1830s, you'll see there's a series of lime kilns in there. So what I'm going to do is try and find the safest way possible to get in and have a look around. Like I say, this was the one that I was, oh goodness me, they're trying to scare the living daylights out of me today. Loads of pheasants about. But yeah, this was the one I was excited about. I'm straight away into one. There you go. Straight away we've got a kiln. Can you see that now? It's filled in annoyingly at the end there. That would have been where the arch was. You can see the stonework. Now I'm going to come around the other side because maybe it's just sort of filled in, but you can still see the arch the other side. I'm not sure. Let's have a look. Oh mate. Mate. We're in dreamland. We are in absolute dreamland. Look at that. That's a fully intact 14th century kiln. Oh my goodness me. That's incredible. Honestly, I can't describe how much I'm buzzing because this was such a punt. But there's supposed to be a load here. Not that I want to get greedy because that's incredible, but I'm going to keep hunting for more. So you can see the quarry walls, look. Now I've seen this. Now there's no remains whatsoever, but that's too perfect a circle, isn't it? I'm wondering if and there's the other kiln that we just looked at. I wonder if there was a kiln there. Yeah, look, you can see that stonework. Because of course, you know, stonework would be repurposed. Didn't waste anything going back into the old days, so I'm guessing they would have, you know, maybe come and taken some of the stone from these kilns and you know, built a farmhouse or whatever. You know, built probably a dry stone wall. To be fair, I'd suggest we've got the same going on here, folks. We'll just come down again, the circle. So I would say that was a kiln as well. So just the one intact then. So I think I found the remains of probably 3 or 4. Look, there's another perfect circle there as well. So it's probably 3 or 4, but one intact. Oh, get in. Okay, right. So I've just come across that tiny little bit of field there, and we're in to another wooded area. Now this should be the King's Quarry. Not sure why it was called that. I'm not sure what relevance it has to royalty, but yeah, so here's a quarry. Now in this quarry there should be yet another kiln. Alright, I'm going to get hunting because this is quite a big quarry. Okay, so I was just stumbling around there. I've come over that lip and there's another quarry, and mate, the party is well and truly getting started. Oh mate, it's like a drug looking for lime kilns. Mate, if anyone's got a number for someone like Keith Richards, I'll say, mate, to be rock and roll, mate, you just need to come hunting for for lime kilns. Look at that. Oh, mate, this is so old. And eventually, because of the trees, look, it's going to go eventually. That's why it's so important to come and find it. Oh, mate, I am so buzzing. That's incredible. Let's look inside. It's built so well. So old, folks. Oh, mate, I'm going to write a poem. Right, I just saw something out of the corner of my eye and got like mega excited. But I think it is just a quarry face. Yeah, it is. There you go. That's what got me all excited then for a second. Now, because I walk around, you can see the size of that kiln. Look, that's the side of it, side profile. It's enormous. I'm stung to bits, folks, but I ain't even bothered. That's amazing. To think that these kilns and these quarries were worked by Cistercian monks going all the way back into medieval times, because I'm saying, you know, 14th century, but obviously, you know, Roche Abbey is 1147, and so it was just literature that I found that was saying that they were working this in the 14th century. They could be even older. And anyone that watches the channel knows that I like a lime kiln anyway. I don't know what it is about them, I just think they're cool. But I've never found one this old before, and especially just on a hunch, do you know what I mean? Like no information on it other than a map from the 1830s. I'm buzzing. I feel like Michael Palin. I'm so happy with those remains, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hunches don't always come off. In fact, most of the time they don't. You look at an old map and you sense something, you think, no, it'll be there, and then you know, trundle along and there's nothing there. But with this one, honestly, I'm buzzing. It's weird, isn't it? But I don't care. I'm buzzing over lime kilns. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.